The Dance of Dragons is about to escalate. HBO has dropped new footage. Matt Smith leaked the premiere date, and the showrunner just confirmed something that changes everything about how long this story will run. Let's break down what we know and what it means for the future of Westeros. Matt Smith, our beloved rogue prince Daemon Targaryen, recently let slip in an interview that Season 3 will premiere in August 2026. That puts it just 5 months after A Night of the Seven Kingdoms wraps up its run. 5 months might not sound significant, but in the context of this franchise, it's practically instant. Season 2 dropped in summer 2024, meaning we're looking at exactly 2 years between seasons of House of the Dragon itself. Compared to that gap, 5 months between Westeros shows is nothing. Here's where it gets interesting, though. Some fans worry this tight scheduling reveals HBO's concerns about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. The Dunk and Egg story operates at a completely different pace than what audiences expect from this world. It's more intimate, less explosive. No massive dragon battles, no sprawling political schemes, just a hedge knight and his squire navigating a realm still recovering from the Blackfire Rebellion. Will casual viewers stick with it? HBO seems to be hedging their bets by keeping House of the Dragon close behind, ready to recapture attention with dragons and war. But honestly, we'll find out soon enough. Deadline just confirmed House of the Dragon has been renewed for Season 4. But here's the crucial detail. Nowhere does it say this will be the final season. According to sources, showrunner Ryan Condal is currently midway through writing Season 4, and he's actively considering a 5th season. The decision needs to come soon because the original plan called for 4 seasons total. But Condal keeps referencing the mistakes of Game of Thrones Season 8, arguing that rushing to a conclusion creates unsatisfying narrative choices. House of the Dragon won't make that mistake. It will end when the story naturally concludes, not when some predetermined episode count runs out. This raises uncomfortable truths about the original series. After 6 seasons of 10 episodes each, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss compressed Season 7 into 7 episodes, and Season 8 into just 6. At the time, they insisted this was sufficient to complete their vision. The audience reaction proved otherwise. Game of Thrones' ending became one of the most disappointing finales in television history, and conversations about a potential Season 9 have never stopped. The problems stemmed from speed. Story arcs that developed over years got resolved in moments. Major plot threads like Jon Snow's true heritage as the rightful heir were essentially discarded. Characters made choices that contradicted everything we'd learned about them across seasons. If you're invested in seeing House of the Dragon, avoid these pitfalls. Throw some support to the channel. Your engagement helps us continue covering this universe in depth. Remember what happened with Rhaenyra? She lost 2 of her dragons, her closest advisor Jorah, her best friend Missandei, and somehow, in the span of 2 episodes, transformed from liberator to mass murderer. The show never established her as someone capable of that level of cruelty. Yes, she'd been ruthless with enemies, but burning King's Landing full of innocents after they'd already surrendered, that required development we never got. House of the Dragon has the opportunity to do better. Condal's hesitation about whether Season 4 should be the last is actually encouraging. It's not just about profits, though the show continues performing well. It's about respecting the narrative. The Dance of Dragons is a complete story from Fire and Blood. We know how it ends. The question is whether they'll give themselves enough time to reach that ending properly, or whether network pressure will force truncation. If Seasons 3 and 4 maintain quality, there's no reason we shouldn't see a 5th or even 6th season. The source material supports it. The audience interest exists. The only thing that could derail it is HBO repeating past mistakes. HBO's annual sizzle reel showcasing upcoming projects included the first footage from Season 3, and it confirms what we've been waiting for. The Dance of Dragons is finally happening at full scale. Alicent warns about Rhaenyra's fury, setting the stage for massive confrontations. After 2 seasons of political maneuvering and escalating tension, Season 3 unleashes the full Targaryen civil war. One striking image shows Aemond sitting on the Iron Throne. Book readers know this represents his assumption of power as Prince Regent, while his brother Aegon lies incapacitated. In the source material, Aemond even wore Aegon the Conqueror's crown, though we don't see that in the footage yet. Season 2's ending already positioned this development. Aemond commanded small council meetings, consolidating authority. Season 3 takes his power grab to its logical extreme, him casually occupying the throne itself. Battlefield footage reveals major players from both sides leading their armies. One shot displays a war table covered with dragon figurines, emphasizing the scale of the upcoming First Battle of Tumbleton. Without spoiling specifics, this battle delivers everything. Massive scope, shocking betrayals, major deaths. We see Ormond Hightower, Otto's nephew, commanding Aegon's forces. He quickly becomes one of the Green's most influential figures, and the footage shows him at Tumbleton as well. Daemon appears with Oscar Tully standing behind him, clearly horrified by what he's witnessing. Behind-the-scenes reports and crew promises suggest the action will be spectacular, living up to franchise standards. One scene reveals the Winter Wolves in the thick of combat. One of their number beats a war drum, calling warriors to battle. These Northerners will play a crucial role going forward, foreshadowing the so-called Hour of the Wolf. Pay attention to them from the start. Corlys Velaryon appears in full armor, looking anxious. This shot comes from the long-awaited Battle of the Gullet, which opens Season 3. Again, discussing it without spoilers is impossible. Major characters will die. Season 2's ending showed the Triarchy's fleet moving to break the blockade of King's Landing. The Gullet represents the largest naval battle in Westerosi history. The Battle of Blackwater Bay doesn't even compare. Expect massive scale from Episode 1. There's also a curious shot of a burning skull. Unclear whose head it once belonged to. Targaryens traditionally cremate their dead, but in proper funeral pyres, not fireplaces. This might show an enemy's severed head being burned, or possibly something connected to Harrenhal's supernatural elements. Drop your theories in the comments about whose skull that might be. Season 2 ended with Rhaenyra striking a deal with Alicent. Kill Aegon, end the war. Rhaenyra holds advantages. 3 new dragon riders, possibly 4 if she claims Sheep Stealer. But Aegon fled King's Landing with Larys, heading to Essos to wait out the conflict. The agreement faces complications. Notice that Alicent wears blue in all the new footage, abandoning the green that defined her faction. The show signals her shifting loyalty back toward her original house connections rather than the Hightower agenda. You don't need book knowledge to predict Rhaenyra will invade King's Landing in Season 3. The show has been building toward it, and promotional images show her wearing the crown. The question is execution. Some promotional material from Brazil Comic-Con showed Rhaenyra wielding a sword in combat. Previously, she operated as a strategist, avoiding direct confrontation. Her participation in any battle requires proper narrative setup. Otherwise, we risk repeating the Daenerys situation. Remember, Daenerys lost 2 of her dragons, children to her, plus Jorah and Missandei. But the show never portrayed her as genuinely cruel. Her descent into Mad Queen territory felt rushed, compressed into essentially 1 episode. The signs should have been building for seasons. Emma Darcy mentioned in an interview that the Long Night prophecy will play a major role in Season 3. Not that we'll see White Walkers or storylines beyond the wall, but expect visions and references. Darcy explained that belief in this prophecy will drive Rhaenyra to make questionable decisions. She believes she's the promised prince, the only one who can save the 7 kingdoms from the Long Night. Therefore, no price is too high. Victory must be achieved regardless of cost. In Game of Thrones, misinterpreting prophecies repeatedly drove tragedy. Stannis Baratheon believed himself the promised prince from Season 1, convinced he was destined to rule. He ended his march in the frozen north, everything lost. Without spoiling specifics, Rhaenyra will apparently grow increasingly convinced of her correctness, and her decisions will contribute to her eventual downfall. If this analysis helps you understand what's coming, consider supporting the channel. Your likes and comments help us reach more fans of this universe. More trailers will drop before Season 3 arrives, and A Knight of the 7 Kingdoms will fill the gap. We'll definitely see additional scenes revealing the fates of Larys with King Aegon and Otto Hightower, since their storylines have already diverged from source material. Here's where things get complicated. The renewal for Season 4 and possible Season 5 means House of the Dragon will be with us for years to come. But should it be? The Dance of Dragons is one story from Fire and Blood. Extending it too far risks dilution. At the same time, rushing it risks the Season 8 disaster all over again. Finding the balance is crucial. Some fans argue that instead of stretching prequels, HBO should deliver what people actually want. Season 9 of Game of Thrones. Fix the mistakes. Give proper conclusions to Jon, Arya, Sansa, Tyrion, and everyone else whose stories ended unsatisfyingly. There's merit to that argument. House of the Dragon, no matter how good, remains a tangent. It's backstory. The characters we spent 8 seasons loving deserve better than what they got. But HBO seems committed to the prequel route. Multiple Game of Thrones spin-offs remain in development. George R.R. Martin confirmed sequel projects are in discussion. Maybe someday we'll get that proper continuation. Until then, House of the Dragon represents the best Westeros content we have. If they can avoid the mistakes that plagued the original's ending, if they give themselves time to tell the story properly, it could redeem some of what was lost. The pieces are in place. The creative team understands the stakes. They've explicitly said they won't rush to a predetermined conclusion. Now, they need to deliver. August 2026 might seem distant, but it's coming fast. 5 months after A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, we'll be back in the full chaos of the Dance of Dragons. Dragons will clash. Characters will die. The war we've been waiting for since Season 1 will finally consume everything. The question is whether House of the Dragon can stick the landing where Game of Thrones failed. Can they give us satisfying character arcs? Can they honor the tragedy of this civil war without rushing or sanitizing it? Can they prove that Westeros stories can end well? We'll find out soon enough. The wait is almost over. Share your expectations in the comments. What are you most excited to see in Season 3? Do you think they should extend the story into 5 or 6 seasons, or wrap it up in 4? And should HBO prioritize giving us that Game of Thrones Season 9 instead? Until next time, remember what makes this world compelling. The dragons may bring fire, but it's the human choices that bring destruction. Zaldraz's Exio, where fire meets blood and thrones bring only ashes.